Don Whitehorse was a real man, wasn't he?
Aye. I'm sure you felt the weight of that in your blade as his second. I'm sorry I made you shoulder that burden.
It's all right.
Unbelievable. Why would he accept that role? Do you think Yuri is really all right?
He's not all right, but I imagine he'll be able to sort it out in his own mind. That lad's got real resolve.
Resolve? Do you mean like with Rago and Cumore?
Aye. Once he's made up his mind to taking up a task, he'll see it done no matter how heavy it is. It's an exhausting path, one this old man could never take.
You aren't alone in that.
All folks like us can do is keep an eye on the lad as he does what he needs to.
It's even worse from up close.
I've never seen a hole.
There's no way this could have happened naturally.
It looks like something
An explosion! Are there monsters that can do something like this?
They were, but those monsters were all wiped out.
What do you mean, wiped out?
What you see here, this was a battleground in the Great War.
What? Really?
So that means humans and Entelekea fought here. The humans were victorious, but there were scarcely any survivors. The facts behind the war are shrouded in darkness. Not even the official government histories give many details about what happened.
So the Entelekea did this to the mountains. Terrible power.
The Great War.
That must have been when you were a baby, Patty.
But this is the first time I've heard that a battle took place here.
The Empire's kept a pretty tight hold on information about it. They've got a lot of secrets. You should know that by now.
Thought it was strange that monsters would wage war against humans, but...
What they didn't want us to know was that those monsters were actually Entelekea.
You sure know a lot about this stuff, Raven.
You come across a lot if you live long enough, kiddies.
Okay, enough history lessons. We came here so we could look for Judy.
The monster's voice we heard just now. What if they've already got Judith cornered?
Judy's really strong. There's no way she'll go down easily.
Of course not. I've got to give that dragon freak a beat down. I can't let a monster beat me to the punch.
Yeah.
Let's hurry.
Hold still. I'll make this quick.
A sharpened rage! Which blocks our future!
Oh, angelic princess, grant us your magnificent embrace!
magnificent embrace!
You're gone!
El Caprice of distant waters! You thought you could win?
I'll do my best!
Spread thy alluring snare and deliver my enemies unto me! Tractor beam!
Destruction field!
Quivering dust!
Oh, Angelic Princess Bridge is wonderful!
Get us thinking about us. You can't just go all out.
I'm sorry.
Destruction field! That's it, that's it!
I found you thought you could win?
Hold still. I'll make this quick.
All right, here we go. Yay! All right, we did it!
We did it! I'll do my best. Holy power, come to me!
All right, here we go. Yay! That's the logical outcome. Let's eliminate them.
Yeah, you like to overdo it.
My magic hunger's for its prey. Ow, that was mean.
Watch out. This one's tough.
This is my magic hunger's for its prey.
Hey, that hurt! Sounds a prevention, not a cure. Hey, that was a nice break from things. Thanks!
Get ready. I'm taking you down. This is bad.
Nice aim smash!
Take this!
try harder next time.
Let's go!
Holy power come to me! This modest last Star Blast! Holy power come to me! Then I come to first security!
I'll blow you away! Hey! There's a door! You're dead! Divine Wolf! Ow! You're gone! Dragon Sword! You're dead! Divine Wolf! You're gone! That's enough!
Din of this modest...
I'm just getting started.
I guess we'll fight.
Incandescent blades annihilate the vulgar before me! Oh, angelic princess, grant us your magnificent embrace! Din of this modest land! Holy power, come to me!
On, Wind! Which way? Take this!
Take that!
Dragon Swarm! Destruction! Hey! So don't pick any more fights.
Yuri, what?
I was just thinking about what Judy said. I just realized that maybe she was talking about the Great War.
So maybe she fought against the Empire with that dragon?
It'd be kind of sad if Judy was an enemy of mankind.
Maybe Raven can tell us. You fought in the Great...
Huh?
I think only someone who was on the scene would know so much about the...
Really? But there weren't supposed to be very...
Very true. I thought I was gonna die back then, too. If only I died then.
If only you died. What?
So, did you ever see Judy?
No, not a chance. I may be a player, but 10-year-old girls are definitely off limits for me.
Oh, jeez.
Then it sounds like Judy didn't
Right. I mean, if it was 10 years ago, she'd be 9. That's even younger than me.
I feel like I never saw Baul either. Maybe they were...
So it was really the Antilochea who fought in the battle?
Yes, I guess so. Though at the time, we thought they were only a really terrible...
But wow! You were really in the war, huh, Raven? That's so cool!
Maybe I'll tell you more about it when you're older.
Prepare to meet your doom! Holy power, come to me! Shocking rage! Blood that reflects our future!
Shining Blade!
gaping hole where a mountain used to be.
I still can't believe how much power the Entelekea must have had.
How could the humans fight beings that powerful and not get demolished? I just don't get it.
Indeed. The Great War may still hold secrets we haven't uncovered yet.
And I'll bet those secrets are hidden somewhere in this mountain.
Yeah, but the war's over now. It can't have anything to do with us, right?
I hope so, but...
We'll destroy them in no time.
We're done. You'll be gone soon enough.
Knock him around and cut him down.
We're done.
Oh, man. All right, let's go. Come here. Take this. Shining Hey, that was a nice break from things.
This is a Critian city?
More like the remain.
There might be some
What do you think Judith...
Suppose it wouldn't make much sense to say she was feeling...
The hunting blade!
Judith! You.
Damn you! Go inform Tyson and Nat.
Hey! Nobody... If she's broken our laws, we'll... Now get out of here.
We're only trying to follow a monster we're hunting.
This doesn't involve you.
Okay, this is getting us.
You're right. It's just a waste of time.
anyone who interrupts our conversation.
Leave. Now. Or do you really want to do this?
Judith, you followed me here.
Yeah. We're here to settle things for the...
Judith!
Why you destroyed the Blastia. About the Apatheia and the Entelekea, their relationship to Pharaoh. all of it.
And even though you're one of us, your answers will decide your
Punish the unjust, was it? Honestly, I don't know if that's really a good... You've already come this far. Come.
Yuri, what did you mean about Judy's face?
If there's one thing the Dawn's last moments taught me, it's that I've been too soft. If a part is infected, you cut it off before it infects the whole. Even if it's a comrade, an Entelekea, or a friend.
You mean even if it's Flynn or Pharaoh?
Yeah. It's the path I've chosen. The hunting blades again?
We didn't just cross paths this time. We're after the same thing. We just might have to fight.
If it does come to that, you guys don't have to worry about me. But we can't keep Judith waiting. Let's go!
Carol.
Our boy's growing up.
Yeah,
Isn't there some way we can avoid fighting the hunting blades?
I hope so. But it's pretty much up to them.
Yup.
We'll destroy them in no time.
That's over.
Yeah, I guess we'll fight.
Flickering blaze burn! My magic hungers for its prey! My magic hungers for its prey! Holy power, come to me! First aid! Our weapons are love!
Justice. Sexuality.
Would you stop? Let's eliminate them!
Cerberus blast! Come on, Wind. Knock him around it. Cerberus blast!
Race of innocent waters!
Take this! Get it! Come on, Wind. Knock him around.
Smile of wavering darkness!
Take this!
A flickering blaze burn! Fireball!
Take this! Get it! Cerberus blast! Come on, Wind. Knock him around and cut him down. Wind blade! Get it! Come on, Wind. Knock him around and cut him down. Wind blade! Get it! Come on, Wind. Knock him around.
That's over.
Take him out!
This ain't a bad strategy either.
Smile of wavering darkness! That's no good! This is the end of Race of innocent waters! Unleashed! This is the end for you! Now my clothes are all dirty. Brilliant Angel's Grant is ready for
Will this fight ever end?
I'm not.
This doesn't look good.
Get ready for anything.
Race of innocent waters! Grant them thy undefiled purity! Holy power! First aid!
Get it! Damn it! Hey!
Holy power, come to me! First aid! Holy power, come to me! First aid! Holy power, come to me! First aid! A flickering blaze burn! Fireball! First aid!
All right.
I'm just getting stuck.
You don't scare me.
Holy power, come to me!
Hey!
First aid! Grant them thy undefiled purity! Not bad! Holy power, come to me! First aid! This is the end for you!
Alright, who's next? Destruction field!
The sign of victory!
So, you are aware that this place was the ground on...
Yeah, we heard from...
The Great War was sparked.
What?
This was not a Blastia that had been excavated. It had been constructed in the city of the Hermes Blast.
I've never heard of it, and if you say it was newly built...
I didn't think you could make...
The Hermes models were even more effective at converting air, and they were intended to...
But something went...
The Blastia using these Hermes-type formulas required... The Airkrina began producing abnormal amounts of air.
That would mean the end, not just of humanity.
Just like we saw at Cave Mach and the Wheezing of Katos. Wouldn't like to see that.
The Entelekea realized the dangers of the Hermes Blastia before the humans, and they moved to destroy...
Which created a conflict that grew until it eventually
So then the Entelekea fought against the humans.
But why didn't they tell the humans how dangerous those Blastia were?
Neither side probably cared much if the other. There's never been any love lost between humans and Entelekea.
Or maybe there was another. What does any of this have to do?
Temza fell to the flames of war, and the technology of the Hermes...
Wait, you mean there are still...
Yes, at Rago's mansion, Amit Hill, Gosferost, not to mention.
The Ceres Blastia on the Fiertia.
That new Ceres Blastia must have been a Hermes blast. So then you've been destroying the Blastia and...
You could have mentioned that. Why didn't you say something? Were you gonna save the world all on your own? Are you
What was that?
Baul!
Nan!
It looks like we've...
You will not You're a person, aren't you? How can...
Didn't you get the news?
We won't allow that! Not even from you, Nan!
We were having a conversation.
I can't believe these...
I don't usually like to get my
Everyone, have the hunting blades added
Nobody who associates with monsters can rightly...
Carol, have you forgotten the credo of the hunting?
Monsters are evil. But the Entelekea aren't evil.
Don't let them fool you with that credo nonsense. They're on a job.
If you have no...
You leave us no...
All monster should be killed.
That's the rule of the hunting blades! I don't care what you think of monsters. I will protect Baul, even if it costs me my life.
It's pretty stupid to think anything out of the ordinary is automatically evil.
Aiding monsters is punishable by death.
You're worse than monsters. They just got instinct. You got brains. So what's your excuse?
Shut up! We hunting blades will not back down.
So I guess we just gotta fight this out.
Don't blame me for what happens. Holy power comes to me.
Holy power, come to me! Olympus Modus
All right.
Olympus Modus Angel's grace is relieved! Holy power! I did know this gas! Flickering holy Don't want to lose.
Were you going easy on them?
I'll fight anybody who lays a hand on my people.
I did it! That's the logic.
Nan, I'm sorry. We sure have fought a lot of monsters.
Yes, I thought by now they might be more scarce, but...
That sounds like something you'd think, Estelle.
If we could wipe out all the monsters ourselves, we wouldn't need anything like barriers anymore.
But why are there monsters anyway?
So that people can defeat them, of course.
I think that's a little extreme.
Well, that's the only thing they're good for. I wonder... It seems there would be some good reason why they exist.
There's no use thinking too hard about it. Get started on that train of thought, and you'll soon be asking yourself why humans exist.
Yes, that's a good question, too.
There you go, making things more complicated, old man.
I was trying to get you to stop thinking about these things, not think about them more.
What's happening?
Baul is trying to evolve as an intellect.
It looks like he's suffering.
Baul.
You can do it!
No!
I want to heal your wounds. My power is poison.
Healing wounds isn't your power.
What do you mean? Don't you remember Bellius?
Power corrupts, but you never lose that kindness.
My compassion.
Your thoughts are reaching Baul. I'm sure.
All we can do now is hope for the best. Well now.
Amazing.
I knew you could do it.
Your partner seems like he's gonna be...
Yes. Thank you all for... This is something I couldn't...
You're one of us.
That's right.
Didn't I tell you? You got through... You make it through to Pharaoh as well. Will you be going to meet...
That's up to Estelle.
I'll go. It's been the purpose of my journey, after all.
Are you sure? What if you end up getting killed?
Even still,
It won't be too long before the hunting. How about a change in scenery before they...
There's only one path down from here.
the skies are what?
Have you lost your mind?
Get on. We'll fly. We can finish talking.
Judy!
She's sleeping. She must...
Yeah, I mean, wasn't expecting...
I bet she watched over Baul the entire time he was evolving. She probably had no idea.
She was putting up a brave front, but she must have been...
She's just dumb. And I'm really glad we're able...
We can finish talking with her tomorrow. In fact... We still haven't heard Judy's side, so we can't say anything, but... She sure caused the guild a major headache, breaking Blastias all on her own. There's no getting around that fact, no matter what her reasons. We have to settle this. Man, I hate waiting.
Oh, Yuri.
Sorry to interrupt.
Ever since I took Belius's life, I've wanted to know what it means to be the child of the full moon. I've always thought that it would, but after...
That's how everyone is. They do something, they learn.
You too, Yuri?
Yeah.
Maybe if I had known everything ahead of time.
There's only one...
What's that?
Maybe you wouldn't have made any mistakes.
I really...
So does an old man past his prime fit into the picture?
What are you whining about, old man? What?
What Judith was talking about before. Blastia created with techniques that should have been... Do you know what this means?
I guess someone who survived the war brought either Blastia or those tech...
If that person was still using the Blastia, even though he knew it was harmful to... Someone like that would have to be quite...
Old man, don't...
Hey now, yours truly was nothing but an innocent youth. I wouldn't do something like that.
I was just trying to trick you into giving yourself a...
Son of a... When are you gonna learn some
Don't fall over.
Oh, I'll be careful, Yuri. The world sure is big.
Yeah. Even though we're flying this high in the air.
If the world's this big, I guess it might not make that much of a difference whether I get...
Are you saying you'd be okay with not...
I'm saying that I'm not the only one who feels restless in it. Everyone's worried about something.
You think so?
Isn't that why everyone's here? Isn't that why Judy...
And... is...
I don't want to be a...
You know, you're being pretty...
I'm always honest.
Really? Well, maybe you are. Are you thinking about Judy?
Yeah. I'm wondering...
It's true that she broke the guild's law.
I always thought that a guild's strict adherence to its own laws, that there could be no exceptions. But...
She did what she did to save... Judy is destroying Blastia because she knows it's the right thing to do.
Yep. Judith didn't break our laws in order to... I know this. I'm gonna talk with her about it and give it some more thought.
Oh yeah?
Maybe if I become a little more decisive.
Is that the core from the Ceres Blastia that Judy destroyed?
Yes, it's definitely cut with... It looks like what she said would...
She said she wasn't too good at lying.
To discover that the new technique you created was bad for the world, after what must have been years of research. I can't imagine how the person who created...
Well, what if it had...
If I found out that it hurt the Earth? But I wouldn't destroy the Black...
What the...
Nothing. If only things weren't so... I could have just blasted her into a blue...
Morning, Yuri.
Morning.
It's a beautiful... Even as we stand here, and our world may already be dying.
That's right.
Judy!
Well...
In the past, these slight fluctuations of the air have not... There have always been beings who maintain the balance, beings like Pharaoh and Baul.
So the Entelakea were responsible for...
For ages, but the recent increase has been greater than...
Which is being caused by...
And which is also why you were going around taking...
Yes, that was the path I walk with Baul.
The path you...
Now some would even hunt the Entelekea for Apatheia. This has made the mission of the Entelekea even more...
Why is everybody so crazy about...
I'm afraid I don't have an answer. The air an Entelekea absorbs becomes condensed within its body. When its life is at an end, that condensed air forms a crystal. That's all I know. I imagine Pharaoh could shed more light on the...
So Apatheia, if that's true and the energy could be it would be a source of overwhelm...
Could we really... But if that's possible, there must be tons of guys who...
I bet somebody wants to use these things.
Why didn't you just tell us all this from the beginning?
Seriously, we could have avoided all this. Am I wrong?
Even if you had, there are things not even you could...
What do you mean?
I showed up at Heliord because Baul had sensed a where there was a disturbance. There was sure to be... But what I found there was not a Blastia. It was a person.
So it wasn't like you were looking for a step...
Yet for some reason, Baul perceived Estelle as a disturbance in the air. I had to find out why. It was at that time that Pharaoh first... He seemed to have some idea who was... My mission was to destroy... However, Estelle was obviously not a... I made a deal with Pharaoh.
You mean...
If it became apparent that her existence posed too great... I would kill her.
You what?
Wait!
Settle down. Obviously, Judith...
All right, I get it.
Belius said you possess a heart of compassion. If you can communicate that to you may learn what you should...
Hey, there's no real reason for you. I mean, we know the Hermes Blastia. If we just make sure the Apatheia...
I still want to meet Pharaoh. But please try to I have to know more about myself and take responsibility for who I am.
All right.
Sorry, Yuri. I don't think we can decide what to do about Judith right away.
I promise not to leave again until things have been set. I need to accept that response.
Let's go and find... We'll finally be getting around to one of the first things. We can work out the rest.
There is a rocky crag in the center of the sands of Kogor. That Baul can take us...
Okay, let's go.
I can communicate with Baul, but there are still a few things you should...
Like what?
Baul can only land on the ground and wide, so you won't be able to dismount on steep mountain ranges or in narrow canyons.
Can't he land on water?
Water's no good either.
Really? He looks like he'd be a good
Yeah, he'd sink like a rock.
Huh. Who knew?
That's why we have a ship, right?
Right. If you'd like to get down onto the ocean, let Baul will set our ship down there for...
Okay, but what should we do?
Use Baul's horn to call him to you.
Baul's?
Every Entelekea has a spec that can be used for communication with his...
Huh. So we can get a hold of him by using that.
Right.